Hey, you guys, coming to you live today from Florida. Sorry, I've been, but I didn't want to take the opportunity to talk to you today on Monday about fear. Yes, fear. Actually, I'm going to talk to you guys about fear. Why am I talking to you about fear? Simply because today, 2023, has started and it's Monday. It's day two, but it's Monday, okay? First Monday of the year. And I come to find out that many of you have not done year end reflection and have not done New Year's resolutions. And when I say New Year's resolutions, I don't mean New Year's resolutions that are to be broken next week. No, I'm talking about the time that you have spent to um, plan out every single day with your action, every single week, every single month for the next 90 days so that you can actually track your progress. Okay. Hey, Anne. So I wanted to tell you that you have to track your progress. Why? Because here's what happens with fear. Okay. Fear can either paralyze us, can freeze us. Fear can make us flight, like flee away, go away, or it can make us fight, okay? And it's the fight, flight, or freeze response that everybody has inside of us, right? Here's the problem. Most people these days are either freezing or they're fleeing, okay? Now, there's different ways. When you freeze, you're procrastinating. You're procrastinating. That is a freeze response, okay? You are somehow afraid of something. You are afraid of failure, maybe, okay? Maybe you are afraid of success. Maybe you're just afraid of the action that you're a perfectionist, and the perfectionistic ability is not quite there, so you are procrastinating on it, meaning you are freezing, okay? Now, when you're fleeing, that's the numbing part of it. When you are numbing emotions, when you're numbing actions, meaning you are on your phone scrolling a lot, you are um, you are watching Netflix, you're binge watching Netflix, you are putting off your New Year's resolutions. That's that's numbing. You're putting something else in place of what you should be doing, okay? And when I say what you should be doing, I don't mean you should be doing this because your parents told you so. Now, what should you be doing? You know what you should be doing. You know what your goals are. You know what you really would like to do, and whether or not you're doing it or not, that's a different story. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Are you putting in actions that are getting you closer to where you want to go? And if the answer is no, and instead of doing that every single day and having that planned out for the next 90 days already, you are in fear, in a fear response, okay? Some people have fear of success, okay? And I want to talk about that a little bit. That is one of the things that I struggled with, and I want to share with you how I am working with it. I don't want to say I'm perfect at it because I'm still afraid of it. And I think we are never not afraid. I think we just choose to work with it. Okay. So, fear of success is when you are when you're a visionary and you're having all these big dreams of this person that you want to become. And it's so big that that you are really kind of just starting to freeze in the action because you cannot fathom that really yet. Okay? That is a fear that many people are not talking about because not everyone is a visionary. Okay? There are people, and this was a big lesson that I had to learn. There are people who see the top of the mountain and they see, let's say there's a cross up on the top or whatever, they see that, and then there's people who are seeing the staircase on top of the mountain, And then there are people who are literally seeing the forest on the bottom of the mountain, and then there's some people who are seeing all the flowers and all the little gritty things that are on the floor in the mountain, in the forest on the bottom of the mountain. Okay. Now, when people train, entrepreneurs or online people or whatever, when people are training, many times they tell you you need to dream bigger, you need to do all the things, you need to, like, if you are not reaching your goal, you should be dreaming bigger. Well, if you say that to a person like me, for example, then I will dream to the mountaintop, because that's the only thing that I see. I only see the very, very top. I see all that. But guys, it's very scary, because when you envision yourself, like, I'm just gonna say it, if I envision myself as a Tony Robbins with a stadium that is gonna have, I'm a public speaker out of the sudden, and I'm gonna have everyone moving and having breakthroughs and feeling super great, about the things that I say, that's terrifying to a small person. That's terrifying, right? When you start out, because that's when you get the imposter syndrome. That's when you're like, who am I? Who am I? Who's going to be able to make a whole stadium move? I'm not a Tony Robbins, right? Yet. Okay. So, having said that, that's a fear of success. Okay. So, what are you going to do? Like, then I was trying to imagine myself, like, okay, what would I do if I would go up there and that would be out of the sudden the case? And I started realizing, what if I do not handle it? What if I cannot handle this? And what happens as a result is, when you get in fear response, you stop acting. You stop every single thing that you're doing, every IPA, income producing activities that you're doing, you stopping it right in your tracks, because your fear response in your brain, you freeze. Okay, you freeze, and that is what happens. And when you freeze, you stop everything. And then sometimes you combine it with fleeing, and you're like, oop, I think I did enough today, and I'm just going to go ahead and start watching TV or TikToks or whatever it is that you're distracting yourself with these days. And that's what happens. Okay, so how do you overcome that? How do you stay in action? Because if you don't have action, you are not going to produce the results, and therefore you are even fulfilling your prophecy of your fear, like you're fearful of success. So you're going to do subconsciously every single thing that will take you away from the success. Okay, that's a problem, right? Would you agree? Is that like, comment below, let me know if you if you agree with the fact that if you're stopping yourself from that action, you will never have that, what you want. You will not have the success, so therefore you are fulfilling your prophecy of being fearful of it. Okay, now how are you going to deal with this? How are you going to come through it? Here is what you need to do. You need to set very clear daily action goals. Okay, you have to figure out, this is what I'm at, here's where I'm at, here's where I want to go, what is in between, what is the gap, what actions do I need to do on a daily that will get me to go there. And all you need to focus on is step by step by step by step by step, and you need to track. If you do not track your actions, you will not have the clues. You will not see where are your blind spots. Okay, and that takes some discipline. It takes discipline. It takes a matter of honesty with yourself. I would say it really is honesty. So if you have goals, you guys, if you have this ounce of drive inside of you that you want to make something happen, this is what I'm going to tell you. Focus on, where's your fear? Are you numbing? Are you freezing? Are you a procrastinator, or are you distracting yourself? Okay, which fear response are you having? And then I want you to think, Which type of person are you? Are you the visionary that sees the mountaintop? Are you on the staircase? Are you on the forest? Where are you at? And determine then of what your next step is. I'm always saying, like, do the Anna thing from Frozen. If you if you are a mother or you have seen grandmother or whatever, if you have seen that movie, if you haven't, let me tell you, it's really so smart. They come up with like the greatest things. There's this scene where she thought that she has lost her sister in this ice storm, and she was terrified and heartbroken and so afraid. And the song was all about doing the next right thing. Just focus on doing the very next right thing. That applies to your online business, that applies to your family, that applies to being in any kind of struggle. That applies even when you're in grief, you guys. This piece of advice, just do the next right thing, has gotten me through so much heartache within the last 2 years that I know it will help you as well. I know it will help you. So if you, wherever you find yourself on that mountain, figure out what are you afraid of, really get curious about it, and then figure out what could be the very next thing for you. Okay? All right, I hope this was valuable for you. If it was, please let me know. I would love it. I would also love if you could follow me on YouTube and subscribe there. I would also love it if you can just message me and let me know what else you want me to train on in 2023. I would love to bring some value and chat with you all later. So, talk to you later.